Hello and welcome to another Overlord theory video, and today we are going to take a look at a rather interesting question, namely how the Floor Guardians, the NPCs, and the normal citizens of the Sorcerer Kingdom would react if it would have been revealed that Ainz Ooal Gown is in fact a human. And to make things more interesting, Ainz transforms into a human all of a sudden. But before we are going to take a look at all of this, let me thank my Patreons for supporting this channel, as well as all users of the YouTube thanks function who made one-time donations. Now with that said, just like one of the likely inspirations for the character of Ainz Ooal Gown, the ruler of the 9 hells from Dungeons and Dragons has hidden his real body out of sight of any of his minions. Ainz Ooal Gown's human body has supposedly been left behind in the old world, while his spirit has been reincarnated into his avatar, presumably again by the magic of the Dragon Emperor, who attempted to steal the world-class items from the dimension of Yggdrasil. But since he didn't realize that this was a game world, the spell misfired and reincarnated not only the world-class items, but also the players and other things around the world-class items. Now let's also assume that the fact that players were transported to the new world every 100 years, despite leaving at the exact moment of the server shutdown, was due to output lag, and that Ainz Ooal Gown's real body is underway, and soon enough he will transform into a human, but with all of his legendary powers. Then the newly humanized Ainz should and would feel that he should be honest with the children of his friends, and therefore he will reveal his human identity. And I believe that most if not all of the Floor Guardians would accept the change in form, but just like Demiurge and Albedo once noted, that even though Auriel Omega is technically speaking a human, she is still seen as an immortal being with powers far beyond anything of human understanding and capability, and therefore the revelation of Ainz Ooal Gown's human form, and by extent the revelation of all other supreme beings as humans, will likely just be seen as another facet of their vast and wise being. And to the Floor Guardians it might also be seen as a reward for great service, and as an implicit order to work harder for more rewards. Now speaking of hard and rewards, while most of the Tomb will perceive Ainz more like Lupus Regina, as someone with a human and a heteromorph form, most of the female staff will likely be focusing on one part of this new side of Ainz in particular. And Ainz once has revealed, at least in his own thoughts, that without his emotions suppressed, he would have re-enabled Albedo to ride her virgin-proof bicorn. So we have no room to assume that Ainz would not attempt to get some godkins of his very own, which then would be seen as another part of Ainz Ooal Gown's great and smart plan to conquer the world, with the aid of his sons. I mean, what could possibly go wrong if a corpse god on a legendary magical throne employs this kind of strategy? Okay, jokes aside, Renner might see all of this as part of a grand scheme, threatening everyone by pretending to be a great powerful undead being, only to then grant the human nations and especially Theocracy a great relief by revealing that he is just the most powerful human necromancer in existence. Maybe even an attempt to convince the Theocracy that he is in fact Surshana, their god of death. And since Renner had served as a sheet for Clime's sword for some time now, maybe she also assumes that Albedo has a part in this final transformation, and is now doing the exact same thing. And while you are now trying to get the image of the most unholy foursome in existence ever conceived since the Riders of the Apocalypse out of your head, let me tell you how the wider Sorcerer Kingdom and the world would react. The Theocracy, as said before, would likely be relieved, and maybe mistake Ainz for Surshana and declare him their sole surviving god. And I also have the feeling that they will try to marry Zeshi to him, and by this point Overlord would become a half-harem anime. Jerkner would also be shocked and then relieved that at least the undead is part of his own kind after all, and merely used the character of the Sorcerer King to scare him into submission, and while he will still take the unassuming Ainz for a masterful schemer and politician and manipulator, he will likely relate more to Ainz, and might actually start to become friends with him, over their shared passion, their respective harems. As for the wider population of the Sorcerer Kingdom, especially the human population, I believe that they will take Ainz for a cursed king, that now throughout his righteous conquest and great policies has brought so much peace and plenty to the common folk, that the curse transforming Ainz into an undead had been broken and his true self has now been revealed. Basically like the Beauty and the Beast, just without the IKEA furniture turning back to humans as well. This retransformation might also lead the Carnasus City-State Alliance and the Dragon Kingdom to be more welcoming to Ainz, although they will still fear the undead he controls and creates. So that's pretty much my perspective on what exactly would happen if Ainz Ooal Gown would retransform into a human. And with that said, I say thank you very much for watching, and special thanks to Bad Guy Yee, Ben C, Chrissy, Crowley0221, Sia, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragonlord, Dystopia II, Thural Shivan, Guy with That Hat, Hector Marino, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, Chromius, Legendarius, Lelouch Free Britannia with a Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Merovec, Mr. Shoes, Michael R, Michael Y, O'Kill, Overlord General Gasper, Paddy Pantom, Personage, Primus 11, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Texas Deer, the Orc Warboss, Rock Ed Smasher, T.E. Vang, Vash Hawkeye, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, and Zonegon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon on my next video.